coaching is not just limited on the field of play. We also see it in the classroom here at Tupelo Public School District. For Your Story, Our Purpose, One Heartbeat, I'm Greg Ellis, and today I am with Amy Ferguson, and we're going to talk about her instructional team. And Amy, you guys play such an important role within the district. Kind of walk us through the impacts you guys make and kind of what your role is.
Okay, well, I'm Amy Ferguson. I am the elementary curriculum director, and I have a staff of 5 instructional coaches.
Okay.
So we have one that works with all the K2 schools, which is April Gray, and then we have one in each of the 3-5 schools.
Okay.
We have Janet Tubb at Lawhorn. We have Susan Hankins at Lawndale. We have LaTanya Slater at Pierce Street, and then we have Celeste Ellis at Rankin.
Awesome. Now, kind of tell us, what do they do? What is their purpose? Why are they at the schools? Is that the only school that they're at?
So several years ago, we moved from a district curriculum team to a more school-based curriculum team because what we wanted to be was a coach for instruction.
Okay.
We wanted to have people in the buildings who could be a liaison for teachers.
Okay.
So we want to empower them, to give them the tools that they need to be successful with the standards, but also to be someone that listens to the voice of the teachers, someone that partners with the teachers, to make sure that we're really effective in growing students.
Let's take a typical day. So your coaches come in, are they actually in the classroom with the teachers, or are they devising plans? Kind of take me through that, how that process works.
Right, so each coach has their own specific role within their building.
Okay.
Because they're under the direction and supervision of their principal.
Okay.
So their principals will decide how they're best utilized within the building.
Okay.
However, we do utilize some of the same mechanisms for coaching.
Okay.
So one thing that we do is we provide collaborative support. So coaches, you will find them in the PLCs where they're collaborating with teachers, where they're working as a part of the team. We will coach one-on-one with teachers. So if there are teachers who need more instructional supports or they have a challenging group, then you would find that coach going in and partnering, modeling for the teacher, partnering with the teacher, meeting with the teacher afterwards to debrief. So those are kind of like a typical day in the life of an instructional coach.
Just a small
That's right.
part of
Little
the typical
piece of
day.
it.
Now, you're in your 7th year here, but have you been with the curriculum program the entire time, or how has your role evolved?
Well, when I started here 7 years ago, I was the response to intervention coordinator.
Okay.
Which means that I was mainly charged with finding solutions for students who are struggling in all of our schools. And then last year, I took on the role of directing when we moved the curriculum supports to the schools. The initiative was given to me to work with those instructional coaches to develop a vision for that and try to cultivate that within the schools. So I've gone from working with struggling, how do we work with struggling students, to now how do we work with all students? And the same things that work with struggling students work with all our students.
Right,
So
right.
It's just been a change and a move, but a good one.
Of course, you're responsible for the elementary curriculum. Now, do you and your group, do y'all decide the curriculum? Do you alter the curriculum? How is that determined?
Well, the curriculum comes from the State Department.
Okay.
So the standards come. Now, how we attack our standards is up to Tupelo.
Okay.
So we pull together teacher teams, and teachers help us to develop what we call the Tupelo curriculum.
Okay.
Okay? And our coaches then help us to put that plan into action. So weekly we meet as a team and talk about what are the needs that we see at the district level, what are the needs that we see at the school-based level, and then what do we need to work on to move forward.
In the state, a lot is made of state testing. Now, do you guys play a role in that, in help preparing for the state testing or adjusting the curriculum style once the scores are released?
So one of the processes we go through is developing what we call the power standards.
Okay.
So we go through our standards and we look at what was most heavily tested and how did our students in Tupelo do. And we will determine in every grade level what those power standards are. What are the standards we really need to focus on? So we narrow the focus. We teach all our standards to mastery, but we really want to make sure that those non-negotiables are covered. So that's one piece that we do to prepare for state test.
Okay.
Another thing that we do is we have interim assessments throughout the year. So we will have an assessment 3 times a year to prepare for that end result. And we work with teachers to decide in pacing what needs to be taught at different times of the year. So we decide what should be taught first term, what should be taught second term, and then we're able to assess our students at those different benchmarks. And just like a doctor would take a checkup, we're able to see what our students' needs are, what instructional strategies we need to employ, so that our teachers are ready to attack what the standards say they need to.
So there is a rhyme and reason to why we learn things at certain parts of the
That's
year.
right.
Learned something new today, see? Even I can learn. Now, do you look back, when you're looking at data, are you looking 1 year, 2 years? How far back do you go as you prepare forward?
So we usually want to look at about 3 years back. So we'll
Okay.
go 3 years back, but we're going to look at the most recent data more heavily, because those people are probably still employed with the district. We want to see, are those people still here, or how did we do in certain areas? What big overarching things do we see as a district that we need to work on?
Now, your group, I mean, you've made a difference in the district. Is this, what percentage-wise, how many districts in the state have this type of curriculum team that you have here? And do you see it growing here and across the state?
Some districts will have district level curriculum people and then instructional coaches within the buildings. And then some districts will have just just like what we have, and some are still in that just at the district level.
Gotcha.
But what I see is that it's really impacting the practice. That's the whole purpose of having a curriculum team, is to help teachers and help administrators to be better. And so having those people in the field really does make a difference. And so I think that we'll continue to see more districts go into a model like this.
Do you have people reach out to you to say, hey, how are you getting it to work in Tupelo? This is something that we want to implement into our system.
Yes, we do. We have people that call a lot to just ask, what do you do? How does it work? They look at our scores and they'll say, hey, Tupelo, you're doing great in ELA, or you're doing great in mathematics. What type of strategies are you using? And with our coaches, we try to we're always in learning and growing. So we do a book study every month at a district level. So we try to read a book and study and try to continue to provide tools in our toolbox that we can give to teachers to help them be better teachers.
It's always good when you're setting the trend, and it sounds like Tupelo's kind of the trendsetter when it comes to this type of curriculum preparation, I guess you
I
could
agree.
say. Every year brings new challenges, technology changes, there are updates. What type of professional training do you guys have to go through each year?
So we have a district model for professional development. So we have professional development that we will provide for the district-wide at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and the end of the year.
Okay.
However, there's going to be more needs than that, because there's new initiatives all the time, and there's always ongoing PD that's needed. So we utilize district focus groups where we have key teachers coming together across the district for training, and we do that 3 to 4 times a year to look at data. What is the data telling us as a district? What are our next steps instructionally? We will have MDE here to do training for our teachers when we see that there's a need, and we will just pull those individuals that need that training at that certain time. We have consultants who come in that principals will contract with, and our instructional coaches will be in the room with the consultants, and then they will carry that work on, so that we don't have to have consultants as often, because
Right.
they're able to do that work for our schools. So we just kind of try to provide an as-needed professional development that is ongoing and embedded in the jobs that our teachers are doing.
I hope you like numbers, Amy, because it sounds like there's a lot of data and research that you guys are constantly looking at to pick up trends.
There is.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, and what a great program. And I can't wait till we revisit this in a year or two to see where we're going next.
Sounds good.
For Amy Ferguson, I'm Greg Ellis. Have a great week.